calculated into the cost, and people will just jack up the prices accordingly. So even a cup of like bubble tea you go and buy, right? The bubble tea has increased from like 50 cents to $1 as well. So there are some people, the internet brigade, start to commenting on those articles whereby people started complaining, saying that because the youngster nowadays they drink bubble tea. So they go and complain and say, oh, you know, bubble tea has increased, like the so and so bubble tea increased by $1, you know, and when the bubble tea is actually like $4 increased to $5. That is actually a 25% increase from $4 to $5. So it's not a 1% increase in GST. Then when people start to say that, they say, oh, at least the Singapore government didn't have a sugar tax on bubble tea right now yet. Yeah, something like that. So these are how the internet brigades are arguing online against the younger generation who just want to have a cup of bubble tea to drink.
You know, I did a walkabout in Tanjong Pagar last night with my party, People's Voice. Alright, and the reception was amazing. I have been doing this for 7 years now, and I have never had such a warm reception from the residents. And I was going into literally the lion's den, right? Tanjong Pagar, Lee Kuan Yew's home ground. The constituency everyone associates with the genesis of the PAP. Yet the reception was amazing. And so many people talked to us about the GST. And one man said, and rightly, it is not just 1%, it is a rollover effect. If every person in the chain just charges 1% more, just 1% more, and many don't, all right? The consumer at the end of the chain, he's going to pick up how many percent? You tell me. You go to the supermarket, you buy a loaf of bread now. Maybe it used to be $3. Now it's $3.40. All right? Is that a 1% increase? No, it's not. Then, my friends, you know, let's bear in mind this. 43.1% of Singaporean resident workers, take home $2,400, take home less than $2,400 or are unemployed. There are presently about 111,000 resident workers unemployed. All right? And 870,000 or thereabouts, all right? Or 37,000 who take home less than $2,400 a month. You tell me, in the world's most expensive city, where prices keep rising, and let me say this with some confidence, they are going to keep rising this year. All right? You think people are going to have a very comfortable lifestyle or even existence? They are not like the mayors, you know, the 5 mayors. 660,000 a year. On top of that, another 192,500 as MP's allowance. You know, people don't have that type of life, all right? To do all these mayors and all these MPs and all these ministers, what is a 1% GST rise? A drop in the ocean. But to the ordinary folks, everyone is feeling the pinch. So, my friends, I will say this. Only an absurd government, a government that is used to having no opposition, used to having its own ways all the time, will do such a thing as to ram through an increase in GST at a perilous time like this. And my friends, I can tell you from my interaction with ordinary Singaporeans every day that the retrenchments have really started. The layoffs have started. All right? In the last month or so, I noticed that the taxi drivers are getting younger and younger. Yeah? And some of them are so educated. You know, in 2015, when I took part in the GE televised debate, I said that Singapore has the most educated taxi drivers in the world. I was right then. And my words ring even more true today. Yeah. And it is a shame It is a shame, for a government to waste the only resource this country has, which is our human talent, and every day to talk up about foreign talent and to ramp up the numbers. It breaks my heart to see every time I go into a taxi, to see that taxi driver being as well educated as he is, because he should not be there. He does not belong there. He belongs in a better place. And unless we are cognizant of that, this country is not just going to stagnate. It is going to keep regressing, like what it has done for the last 2 decades.
Han Wei, Lim Tian talk about the very warm reception you received in Tanjong Pagar. After decades of the narrative of HDB as asset enhancement, do you know who famously said that the value of HDB will never go down? Do you know who?
The person who didn't keep to his promise to get out of his grave is something is wrong with Singapore.
Okay, I think I better don't ask this kind of question from Han Wei anymore.
But we need to thank the person who is actually lending us this place to do the floating. A lot of people say that this background is very nice. So this background, there is like sofa, then there is stable internet connection, and then there are people taking care of my children. So on the 25th January, so the AGC postponed the date to 25th January now at 9 a.m. So at my house there will be no sofa, no TV, no stable internet connection. Then we are not sure how it's going to be. So it's not that there is no stable internet connection, it's just somehow every time people go to that part of Yishun, there is no reception over there. No Singapore line as well. So once you go in there, you get some foreigner line. Sometimes you get Malaysia, sometimes you get Indonesia line. Yeah, we are not sure why it happens in that area as well. So it has ever happened that I needed to attend court trial session. So I had to attend court trial when I was pregnant with my 2 babies. Then what happened was there was one day there was no internet connection for half an hour. And there was no reception for me to call through to the court to say that there's no internet connection. So the court was just delayed for half an hour. Yeah.
By the way, Han Wei, you Yishun, who is your MP?
My MP is Derek Goh Soon Hee. So a lot of people like to target me, say that, oh, you are not born in Singapore, something like that. Then I'm like, huh? Why do you want to say this kind of comment? Then my PAP MP is also, his children not born in Singapore as well. And he just came in because, there's nobody who wants to be in the same group as the minister. Yeah. So he got plugged in there. Therefore, a lot of people are saying, if I cannot raise the money, then I need to go get the MP for help. I need to go seek the PAP help once again. Then I need to go look for a job all this day. So we are just waiting to see what the AGC do. Then we can go down to the PAP Meet the People session. And my minister is in charge, he's the minister. So yeah, we can go there and see how it is like. Because ultimately, we always talk about Meet the People session and PAP MP session. But nobody actually went down to film the situation, and nobody actually went down to see how come the PAP MP is taking a full-time salary but doing a part-time job. Or maybe they are not even there, they are not even doing their own job. So why is that so?
My fellow Singaporeans, if you will allow me to chime in at this point, Hui has a couple more weeks to raise the required amount. I ask you to be generous. I know times may be difficult, but you were incredibly generous when we managed to crowdfund for Leong Zihian, for Roy Neng, for Terry Su. Now, we are not asking to crowdfund so much money this time. The target is 22,000. Hui has raised about 4,000 so far. We are about 18,000 short.